Schools That Can Milwaukee was founded by 3 of the city's highest performing schools who were all amidst growing themselves, but really came together around a vision that was bigger than themselves, and a vision that was bigger than even the 3 of them combined.
Henry Tyson and Rob Rao and myself have been working in the city for a long time, working with low-income kids, and quite frankly, quite frustrated with the fact that we were not getting the results as a city, as a community. And we were having our own success individually, perhaps our own little island, both on the north and the south side of the city. But could we do something bigger?
So we got together and we started to brainstorm. How can we, in a relatively short amount of time, move Milwaukee forward by very substantial degrees? And we believed that if we could put 20,000 kids in high-performing schools by 2020, that would help Milwaukee take one giant step forward and would be life-changing for every single one of those 20,000 students.
The launch of Schools That Can Milwaukee is probably the most exciting thing that's happened to me in my 2 decades of working in urban education, because for the first time there's this synergy about creating great seats for children. It's not about what type of school you are, whether you're a choice school or a traditional public school. It's just about whether you're a good school or not.
How Schools That Can Milwaukee is getting to 20,000 students by 2020 is we're expanding and replicating those schools that are already high performing, coaching existing schools to help them become high performing, and then recruiting talent to Milwaukee to open new schools. When we achieve that, we believe it'll create a tipping point which will lead to systemic reform across the city of Milwaukee and close the achievement gap for all kids.
You know, I've been at this now for 2 decades, and I have to say that the overall educational performance in Milwaukee has not improved.
The statistics in terms of graduation rates and test data remain very, very low. As we're all well aware, there are incredible funding challenges.
We have a number of students who are graduating from high school and they are not ready for college or the workforce.
We have the largest racial achievement gap in the country.
We continue to be too divided along the lines of charter, public and voucher schools.
And rather than focusing on what's best for the kids and making sure all students in Milwaukee have an opportunity to get a great education, too much time and effort and energy and resources get put into the politics of the situation rather than focusing on quality schools and the children in our city.
I truly believe that without this organization, we would each be silos going at it alone. The role of convener, the role of cheerleader, the role of coach, and the role of daily thinking about the big picture. Not what does this school need or what does this organization need, but what does the city need? No one else is doing that like Schools That Can.
Ultimately, whether you're a charter school or a public school or a voucher school, you're fundamentally facing the same struggles. And what works and what gets results in one sector is likely to be just as successful in another sector.
L for love, Y for yawn.
What can we do if we know all of our letter sounds?
Schools That Can Milwaukee is working with approximately 10,000 students in 24 schools, and in those 24 schools we're coaching approximately 80 leaders. And then we also do monthly collaboratives in which we bring the leaders together for training and professional development.
I've been in education for 28 years, and yet it just feels like you just don't know which way to go so many times. Schools That Can Milwaukee has been very helpful in helping me to find the right direction to move my school.
Schools That Can Milwaukee has benefited St. Anthony's greatly, helping us with organizational structure, helping us with understanding what we need as far as staffing is concerned, the extra help that we need to bring up the children who need the extra help. All these best practices that they've learned and have experienced themselves and what works with other schools.
It's also given me the opportunity as a leader to learn how to go into my teachers' classes and effectively observe them so that I can give them feedback that's really quality feedback that will help to drive instruction and make the academics even stronger
Schools That Can Milwaukee has really helped me transform from a teacher into a principal and an instructional leader at my school. I'm used to being in the classroom, and so what they've done is taken my strengths from that classroom experience to leading now my whole staff in growing our academic intensity and our classroom instruction and our effectiveness as a whole school.
So there's so much more education going on now than there was before. The teachers are teaching, the students are learning, and everyone is much happier.
Organizations like Schools That Can Milwaukee, they're proving that we can educate these kids. And that's what gives me hope, is that we have a generation of people now who are totally committed to getting this done and know that it can be done.
I went to the Magnet Middle School and I went to the Magnet High School. Unfortunately, those schools serve about 2,000 kids. There are another 100,000 students who will not get the same opportunity as me.
They believe that every child can succeed, no matter what their background is, their home life. They really have that belief and that passion.
There's nothing more important to the business community than making sure our young kids are educated, skilled, and have the ability to participate not only in the community, but in the economic prosperity of this region.
I am incredibly optimistic that not only that we will achieve 20,000 kids by 2020, which I am certain that we will, but that when we're successful in doing that, that it will have a tremendous broader impact on other schools throughout the community.
I want every single scholar that walks through our threshold every morning to be filled with joy and to know that every adult in this building is here for them, cares about them deeply.
When I think of my scholars, I just am so proud of them already. And the potential that I see in the scholars at St. Martini is just unbelievable, and it keeps me going every single day. It keeps all of our teachers going, and I see it also translating into the parents' faces as well.
I truly believe that Schools That Can Milwaukee, working with our school leaders and partner organizations, will transform education in Milwaukee and make sure that all students have an opportunity to learn and succeed.
Our students will be ready to be active members of this community and to give back. And I think that they're going to have the knowledge and the skills to help grow a better Milwaukee.
So we got all the same problems, but now we got a door to the solution like we never had before.
I can tell you that these will be the leaders of this city in the future.
We can build the school system we want here in Milwaukee. It's that combination of belief in people and belief in cooperation that makes this model so different.
This is not a conversation about adults. This is a conversation about what can we do with these kids today to make sure that they're competitive in the future and we give them a future.
I remain convinced and passionately committed to ensuring that Milwaukee has one of the absolute best educational systems of any major city in the United States. And I believe that through Schools That Can Milwaukee, we're absolutely going to get there.